Hello students, today I am here with you to discuss Chapter 1 The Tiny Teacher from the book
An Alien Hand
from class 7th. Dear students, you will be surprised to get to know about this tiny teacher. Yes, the tiny teacher here is the ant. You all might be thinking that the ant is so tiny insect. How it can become our teacher? So dear students, let's get to know the interesting facts about the ants that makes them our teacher. You know students, ants are the smallest but the intelligent and hardworking creature. Every day, a small ant arrives at work very early and starts work quickly, immediately. You know, students, one more interesting fact is there about the ants. Watch this image. You are watching the highlighted part that is called antenna. And the plural of antenna is antennae, which is also called feelers. Here, feelers or antennae means the two long parts on the head of an insect, right? So, actually, these feelers are used by ants to talk to other ants by passing messages through them. You might have watched one more fact about the ants, that whenever they move, they always move in a row, right? Whether they move up or down the walls. Each ant greets or wishes all the others coming from the opposite direction, as you can see in the image. But how they wish them? By touching their feelers. Dear students, ants are of many kinds. The commonest among them are the black ants and the red ants. We have been watching these ants since our childhood, but we haven't paid enough attention to them. Where do they live? What do they do? We never noticed about these things, right? But there are many things that can be learned from the ants. We even never noticed that where do the ants live. So dear students, ants live in the ant hills. And you know, each ant hill has hundreds of little rooms and passages. In some of these rooms, the queen ant lays eggs. The queen ant is the mother of the entire ant population. It frees herself from the wings and after her wedding flight does not do anything but only lays eggs. Here, wedding flight is an important phase in the reproduction. During the flight, virgin queens mate with males and then land to start a new colony. Okay. In the ant hills, other nurseries are also there for the young ones, and these are called grubs. Workers have their reserved quarters. They spend most of their time searching their food. Some rooms serve as storehouses for this food. Soldiers have separate barracks. No worker has ever tried to live in a soldier's house. No soldier has ever gone out searching for food. That means each ant has divided the works. Soldier ant's work is to protect the community. Worker ant's work is to search the food. Even they never exchange their rooms. Soldiers live in their barracks. Workers live in their reserved quarters. No one disturbs others. No worker or soldier or cleaner has ever harmed a grub. And who are grubs? Grubs are the young ones of the ants. In this way, you see that an ant's life is very peaceful because they share their work among all very intelligently and bravely. And the ant never fights with other members of the group. Okay, so we all should learn these things from ants. Now let's see the life cycle of ants. The ants lay eggs, and the eggs are hatched by the queen ant. Means the queen ant gives heat to the eggs, and then the eggs are converted into grubs. Grubs come out from the eggs. Now, what happens? Soldiers guard these grubs. Workers give food to these grubs and clean them. And also, they carry them about daily for airing, exercise, and sunshine. Interesting, no? It seems like it's not true, but this is the true thing about the life cycle of the ant. You know, students, after 2 or 3 weeks, grubs become cocoons and lie without food or activity for how many weeks? For 3 weeks more. Yes, for 3 weeks more, the cocoons don't have food and they do not do any activity. And after the time is over, the cocoons break and perfect ants appear. So, dear students, can you calculate the total how much time a grub takes to become a perfect ant? See, a grub takes how much time to become cocoon? 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. Now tell me how much time the cocoons take to become a perfect ant? 3 weeks. Right? So now calculate total how many weeks a grub took to become a perfect ant? 2 or 3 weeks, that grub's time, plus 3 weeks, the cocoon's time. Total 5 or 6 weeks' time a grub takes to become a complete ant. Got it? And then how you all go to schools for getting education? The perfect ant's education also starts. Now it's time for teaching and training of the ants, which are young. New ants learn their duties from old ants as workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. Right? It means these new ants get variety of jobs or duties. Some ants get the duty of workers. Some ants get the duty to be soldiers. Some become builders. Some become cleaners. Got it? And after a few weeks training, the small ants are ready to go out into the big world of work. Okay, students? So you got to know how systematic life the ants are having from their childhood to adulthood. And one more interesting fact I forgot to tell you. As you see in this image, this is ant hill having hundreds of rooms in it. The fact is, an ant hill is a home not only for ants but also for some other creatures. And who are these creatures? Beetles and lesser breeds of ants. Here, lesser breeds means rare breeds of ants which are not found commonly. And the last creature is green fly that lives in ant hill. Now you might be thinking why the ants give place to these creatures in the ant hill. Students, there is a reason behind this. Actually, some creatures give off smell which is very pleasant to the ants' senses. Means ants love the smell of these creatures. And the other reason is some of these creatures give sweet juices and some are just pets because ants love to play with these creatures. Like we have cats and dogs as pets. The ants have beetles, green fly like their pets. Got it? Interesting, no? Now, one more interesting fact. You know, green fly is the ant's cow. Yes, the ants train it. Means the ants give training to the green fly to give honeydew with a touch of their antennae. And you know, this honeydew is like milk for them. They milk it just as we milk the cow. Yes, students, just by touching their feeler or antennae, they milk the green fly and they get the honeydew. And what is the milk of ants? Yes, honeydew is like milk for the ants. And who gives this honeydew? Green fly. Hope you understood. And you are surprised to see the routine of the ants and the interesting facts. And hope you had never heard about these things. So you got to know how systematic an ant's life is. And I think that human beings should learn how to have a disciplined life. And ants are the best teacher to make them learn. And because they're small, so we call them tiny teacher. Now, the question is, which things we should learn from the ants? So, dear students, we should learn hard work, sense of duty and discipline, cleanliness, care for the young ones, and above all, what is the most important thing? A firm loyalty, honesty to the land where they live. Yes, students, ants teach us all these things. These virtues, if we will have in our life, we will also have a systematic and happy life like ants. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Okay, thank you for watching the video. Bye bye.